The marching band has been a part of the Bowling Green State University since 1923. In the 1923-1924 school year, a student by the name of Leo Lake and Earl Clare Powell, a professor in the Industrial Arts Department, started what would be known today as the Falcon Marching Band.
What started as a group of 20 grew into a group of 250 to 300 students. These students are broken up into different groups based on the instruments they play. From brass instruments to percussion, each group relies on the other groups to make the musical piece come together.
The students that play the same instruments spend a lot of time together throughout the season in practice, but what about outside of practice? Each student has a group of friends that they hang out with outside of band practice, but how much of these groups are other band students? Social groups play a significant role in who a student is and becomes. Can hanging out with other band students help the band become better? Can having a close relationship with other band members make the band have more chemistry on the field? These are the questions we are searching to answer. We set out on our journey to figure out the initial question, what is the band community?
We started out by interviewing the head band director, Dr. King. We figured he would have a general idea of what the band community is and how important it is to their performances.
When you interviewed them, you probably very much heard them talk about themselves as a family, like the F&B family, which is really, really important to them. But within that, each individual section has their own culture. So we try to make sure that the band culture kind of is most important, so that we don't get into situations where certain sections have things against other sections, can create drama at times. But then there certainly is each section specifically within the band. Certain students gravitate to certain sections because they are more attracted to the personality of that section.
After speaking with Dr. King, we knew we had a hit. We then moved on to speaking to the band members that we knew about this to see if it was all true. We first talked to Marty Zimmer. He is a first-year trumpet player, and he had a lot to say about the group activities they do outside of band.
You kind of you spend most of your time around your section because you stand together in the field, you practice your music together, so you're going to naturally know those people better. And you kind of form stronger connections with your section, so you definitely feel more of a community sense with them. So for example, after practice, everyone gets dismissed, and then most sections will go off into their own little herds, and then they'll dismiss and say whatever they need to say. Before the football games, the trumpets will get breakfast, stuff like that. So there's definitely a community within a community depending on which section you're in.
Speaking with Marty helped us realize how close the band really is and how important those bonds are to other band members. But we didn't realize how important until we spoke to Rose Schultz. Rose is a first-year alto saxophone player, and she told us how close the band really is and how important those bonds are to her.
I would say the saxophone section is definitely a family. We've just grown so much together from the beginning of marching band to the end of the season. We've just grown into this strong family. Basically, my entire friend group is band people. Those are the people who I would probably be rooming with next year. Those are the people that I go to dinner with, who I cry to, who I laugh with. They're great people. So.
The last person we spoke with was Ronald Berry, a first-year tenor saxophone player, and he made a very good point as to how the bonds in band help them to make it all come together on the field.
It's really hard to not like people in marching band. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's really hard not to. It does help, to get along with everybody, because I mean we're all, in this together. It's all one band, one sound. There isn't a soloist in the band. It's the whole band performing as a whole.
The Falcon Marching Band is more than a group of people playing instruments. They're a diverse community that share the same love, the love of playing music. Each person comes from a different background, but the marching band is a way for them to come together as a family and grow into who they will become. To close, we go to one of Dr. King's final notes as he explains to us what the marching band really is.
Certainly it's kind of really cool to see the connections and what they choose to identify with, and who their friends are and where their social group lies within the band and all those things. It kind of makes the job, it's a whole different level of fascinating. So it's really kind of, in many ways, you can use the college marching band as a social experiment. That's why a lot of times at different universities, when they're trying to find a really diverse group of students to study, they use the marching band because they come from all different areas, they do all different things, they have all different interests, and so it can kind of be a microcosm for the greater university.